lower because of the storms. I know several that I've spoken to that have spent the evening pumping out their basement. I'm hoping Terry didn't have any problems with that. He was kind of in the path. But anyway, anybody that had problems with it, I wish you the best and sorry that it's happened. Tonight, we are going to continue on with the Coen brothers, and we will be dealing with Raising Arizona, the cast. I'm actually a big fan of that movie also. I think I can't help it.
I love it.
He was so good. And he's when he's great, he's great. I don't think there's anybody better when he's great. Nicolas Cage as High. I have my I think I know all the casting, my mentions in the way. And then we're going to follow that with Holly Hunter, which it's just a great shot of Edwina. And then we're going to follow with, that was my favorite character in there, was Randall Tex Cobb as Leonard Smalls. He was, what a face, right?
Oh, so great.
And then John Goodman and John as Gail. To me, was it pronounced Snoats or was that? Do you remember?
I have no idea. I was actually just going to ask: is Edwina a real name?
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had never heard that before. That's
oh,
great.
Really? It's more old-fashioned.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So, and then I thought it would be fun for people that are adventurous and want to take on a challenge. I put in a couple of, say, group photos that you might, and they're a little bit more full figured. So it might be just cracking up and I'm looking at, I don't know if that's dirt or holes in his t-shirt from William Forsythe's t-shirt there. It's terrific. And the brothers, and then the two together, Ed and High. So if you want to use those as a replacement anywhere along the way tonight, you're welcome to. I think it just gives people a little bit more option and a little bit more fun. So I'm ready to go. I hope everybody else is. If you're new to us, we're going to be doing these 4 poses. You have opportunity. You can replace one of the, any of the. Okay, sorry. You can replace any of the photos with the group with 2 people in them, with any of the single photos. And then when you're done, after each 20-minute pose that we do, post them on Instagram to hashtag illustration isolation. And at the end of the night, we'll go through Instagram. We'll take a look at them. I love doing that. It's amazing how much fun and how many different points of view we get at the end of the night. I'm ready.
By the way, I just grabbed that link. It's in the chat. So it's
Great.
One click away, everybody.
Good deal. Thank you, Timmy.
I forgot my hairdryer. I'm going to be right back.
You look fine. Don't worry about
Yeah, really. Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah.
So, Terry, did you have any weather problems?
We did not. People around us did. The major arteries up here in Westchester County, north of New York City, are a mess because most of them were built on the floodplains of the various streams, the Hutchinson River, the Sawmill River. When they overflow, the roads can only be up so high, and we've got neighbors with water in their basements, but we're fortunately dry.
Yeah, I lived right next to the Sagatuck River as a kid, and boy, when it got going, it got going. But I remember somebody asking me when I was like 7 or 8 years old, riding in the car, and said, "Why do the roads all follow the rivers all the time?" And I was happy that one of the few times I answered it correctly.
Right. Yeah, you paid attention in science that day.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people posting on Facebook the devastation, the results in their neighborhood. The saddest one is Joe Ciardello out there in Western New Jersey. And for years I've known he lives in a gorgeous place, right by a stream, wetlands, great place for the dog to run. But when all of a sudden you've got 14 more inches of
Oh
rain
my
than
gosh.
you had yesterday, it's got no place to go. So it comes into your basement. So his studio, I would say the first 4 feet are water. He did say in the postings that they moved everything to the second floor and hope for the best.
Well, that's really interesting because I saw that post when we were in study hall last night, and I said something about it. Dale and Bill and I were talking about it. And then somewhere in the middle, I was reading all of it that he said, oh, this was posted a couple of years ago. And I never figured that part of it out. It made sense that it was yesterday. And man, either way, either if it was several years ago or yesterday, I felt horrible for him.
Yeah.
And imagine your studio going under like that.
Right.
Beautiful studio too.
Pretty nice. Well, Joe's done reasonably well every year for 42 years. You could do the math. That's the life of a good quality illustrator.
And he is definitely that. He is.
On the topic of quality illustrators, I just want everybody for 1 second to admire Bill Cobb's Marlon Brando as Thanos.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you gotta let everybody enjoy it for a second, Bill.
Oh yeah.
That's from drawing this morning, and he gave him a Thanos chin, which I love.
Yeah.
Good job, Bill.
I have a question. Would it be possible to do and maybe this is a bad idea, so shoot it down, but could you do like a photo mash drawing where you get an Avenger character, but then you get an old actor like Brandon or something, and the goal is to I think that would be a great challenge.
Wait, say that again. You
Reimagine Marvel characters as old actors.
Oh no, that would be cool.
Yeah, where we create it as a challenge. So each pose you have 2 you've got old actor, new concept. I don't know. John's being very quiet, so.
No, I was just trying to think after the conversation today, who would John Wayne be? We could have fun with that.
You could make it really challenging where you pick somebody who's maybe not cast well for it.
Like the likely candidate.
Right.
Yeah, maybe you don't pick the likely candidate. Maybe you pick like Pauly Shore.
So we're doing a John Goodman. John
Yeah.
Goodman is going to be the Flash.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, has anybody ever watched the new Flash TV show?
Mm-hmm.
And you see the old Flash is on there?
Oh yeah, they have so much fun with that.
The guy who play, and then sometimes they show his costume from the past. It's
Oh, that's cool.
hilarious.
Yeah. A mashup night. I don't know.
Oh, that would be fun.
Throwing out theme ideas.
It would be a challenge.
Yeah.
All right.
We could do Timmy. We could do you as Duke Kahanamoko.
That went over my head.
He was the first surfer who came out of Hawaii. Duke Kahanamoko.
Oh man.
A big burly guy on a surfboard about 30 feet long, giant waves.
I would say that I'm a small burly man on a surfboard. Yeah. Crow just asked Cassandra, what are you using tonight?
Oh, you know, Crow, I am doing acrylic on GAC covered cardboard
With a hairdryer.
with a hair dryer so I can move through layers fast.
So are we drawing Nicolas Cage? Is that?
Yeah.
We are. I don't know if you are. but-
Well, I haven't done anything yet. I'm about to.
This has kind of been your day all day.
Yeah, what is going on, Bill?
Okay.
It rubbed
There.
off on me this morning. Bill threw off my whole vibe and it ruined the stream. We ran into Bill ran into some tech issues, and then all of a sudden I had like every tech issue possible go wrong. So,
That was my fault.
and so it was Bill's
It is
fault.
now.
He
Yeah.
brought it. He brought it to the room. You bring an energy to a Zoom room, Bill.
Hi.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
That, you know what? The artist spotlight room is fine, but I think that the life drawing Zoom room, I think it's haunted. or something. It's like we got to get a new room because it's like there's always something new with it, and it's like I didn't know Zoom rooms could get haunted.
Well,
Yeah,
It's all about the attendees.
yeah.
the photos were put in the wrong room.
No, somebody did that after they did that additionally. The photos were in the right place.
So that
And
was
somebody added and put them in the room where we're all communicating.
yeah, that kind of screwed me up because I was like, hey, you know
What
what?
screwed you up is they didn't put all of them in there.
Put all of them in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great photo of Nicolas Cage this is.
I love this. I was just gonna say, I felt like in Raising Arizona, Nicolas Cage's hair was its own character.
Timmy, tell me what we were talking about the other day about who Nicolas Cage built his character on.
Wile E. Coyote,
Yeah.
because he's like constantly chasing this thing and all these wild, wild attempts to catch the thing right out of his reach or, get out of the way. It's so great. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was definitely his Wile E. Coyote.
Well, that's interesting because Wile E. Coyote was the cause of all of his own tragedies.
Which
Wild.
plays pretty
I
well.
loved his business card, Wild E. Coyote.
Right.
Super genius.
Yep, super genius.
Gina has a great idea. She thinks we should have a Nicolas Cage themed night because he has so many characters.
We'd already worked on that.
John and I already talked about doing like the stages of Cage. I suggested
The Life of Cage.
the life of Cage. Yeah. Yeah. I had suggested doing like you pick a person and you get like the 4 chapters of their life. Like Bob Dylan immediately came to mind because he's had so many different looks,
Yeah.
Somebody said, "How about Keanu?" I would do a Keanu.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
I'd do a Keanu. Yeah,
Keanu, except until recently, Keanu sort of looks the same mostly, right?
he's like, is he like 55? And he's just like,
Yeah, he looks
he's a
amazing.
total smoke show at 55.
Mm,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You think Keanu Reeves is not conventionally handsome, Bill?
No, I mean he's just
He is a good looking man.
maybe it's the photo I saw recently of him.
I thought you
well,
were
I mean,
talking about the age. Yeah, I saw a photo of him recently too, and he looked like he was well over 50.
Good
What?
looking.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I don't know which people are talking about.
If I look half as good as he looks at 60 next year.
Oh, I'm not arguing about that, Timmy, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's funny when most of the time we see performers, actors, they spend a lot of time getting ready.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's true. It's true. But I have the benefit of looking at some candid photos of him, and he's a pretty handsome guy.
I
I was watching I was watching The Sopranos with my brother when he was in town, and we both were like, oh my God, if this show had been produced like today, there's only like 2 conventionally good-looking people in that show, like out of the whole 7 seasons. It is a rough looking, like, I mean, it's all like Goodfellas, you know, but I mean,
You gonna tell that to their faces?
no, yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
even Goodfellas, you know, it has like De Niro, you know, and I mean,
Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta, I mean, they're very handsome guys.
Well, I feel like Ray has phases.
Ray has.
He was young. He was so.
Oh yeah, when he was young, Zaza Zing, like he looked great. But
Ding.
Tell us more, Cassandra.
Yeah, really.
I think he's. I agree. Yeah, Ray Liotta. I mean, man, the person.
there's
I
been
did
some
not
like
realize-
rough Ray Liotta.
Yeah,
Ray Liotta now is pretty.
today Ray.
To me.
Today Ray is tough.
So remember the movie that Ray Liotta made in Kansas City?
What was that movie?
Article 99. He and Forrest Whitaker. And my sister's restaurant, they decided that was the place they liked the best. And they used to eat dinner at my sister's restaurant almost every night for several months.
Well,
That's
that's
so
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
So, do they stay in touch? Or
Well, I have a friend that befriended him that,
really?
Mike Merriman, somehow got to know them. And I don't know if he still does, but I know he stayed in touch with them for a while.
They use the restaurant as a set.
No, they just like the food there.
Better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. Somebody said I underestimated the difficulty level of this. So challenging. It doesn't have to be painful, right? Everybody? Or
No,
Yeah.
it does. It does.
I was trying to be encouraging.
If you're not in pain, you're doing it wrong. I'm just kidding. It's painful for me.
No, I was gonna say there's just not enough time for this one.
Bill, your drawing style is really perfect for his hair.
Oh, thanks. I figured I didn't have a lot of time left, so I've got to use the biggest,
Yeah.
fattest tool I can find. And
So what are you using?
this big old piece of charcoal looks like somebody turned a cigar into a piece of charcoal.
Like vine charcoal.
Yeah, I think so. It's just about a half inch wide. This is the mugshot photo, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
So who else in this room has a mugshot?
Gary, you have a mugshot, huh?
I asked the question.
I might have one.
Well, I bet Dale has one. But Dale's
Dale,
is
do you
beautiful.
have one?
Well,
Dale's is probably like really pretty with the long hair.
it's
Kind of a
definitely
smirk.
possible.
He probably had a really
It's still up there.
great smirk in it.
Yeah.
You know.
I gotta say, I looked pretty good in my mugshot.
Better than the 80s rock hair? I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I came in at the middle. Who's been arrested?
I'm just imagining Dale.
Nicolas
like,
Cage
"What
in
do
this
you-"
movie.
I'm just imagining Dale being like, "What do you mean you guys don't have a blow dryer?"
Well, I think Cassandra's got great product placement with that Conair logo.
Oh yes.
She's getting $100 a pop every time it shows up. It's great.
And Chris. Yeah, Chris is a big blow dryer. You got to have a blow dryer when Chris is doing a demo.
Well, so far, knock on wood, I managed to mute it most of the times.
Chris doesn't. Sometimes.
Yeah.
We do a Nicolas Cage night. We have to start with Valley Girl.
Yeah, well, it's kind of where he started, isn't it?
Yeah, because that's like such an iconic. I mean, that's an iconic character too. You know.
Somebody suggested Kiefer Sutherland. That'd be another good one.
How about Kiefer and Donald?
My gosh. I'm looking
What
at.
about Gary Oldman? He's like,
Oh, he would be
he'd be
great.
great.
Oh man, the character that he played in all right, now the True Romance.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God, yeah.
And then you think about that in the contrast of him playing Churchill.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
He was the like Rastafarian drug dealer, right?
Yep. With the kind of the bad eye, the eye that glossed over eye. I mean, he was spooky.
True
He was
Romance.
also great.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Guildenstein and Rosencrantz are dead? He was great in
Yeah.
that.
That was a great movie too. That was him and Tim Roth at their in their prime.
Are we still on the mashup? So is it recasting Gary Oldman? Is there we going?
No, we're just
Gary
just
Oldman
his
can be
movies.
anybody. He
Is
really
Gary
can.
Oldman-
He's a chameleon.
Anything. I'm gonna think.
Yeah,
of it.
I mean, he was in the Harry Potter movies. Like so many great costumes.
Yeah. I liked him in The Professional and in Romeo is Bleeding.
Yeah.
He was so desperate in Romeo is Bleeding.
Hey Dale,
Yeah,
did you fare okay with the weather?
we got lucky locally right here, but it was crazy, elsewhere around here. But yeah, I got everything up off my floor, especially after seeing Joe Giardello's picture there. My God. But no, we got lucky. We only got a couple of inches. The sump pump never went on, so
Oh, that's great.
yeah, we got very lucky.
Did you get much with Henry?
Yeah. I mean, nothing devastating like the rest of the country, but not the rest of
Because
the
it
country.
seems like you just got it 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Well, I know a guest we had on last week, Adam, he was pumping his basement out all night last night. He lives in Jersey,
Oh no.
and he has no power now. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh,
I feel for him. Water and artwork just don't mix very well.
no.
Yeah.
Or art supplies, as you guys know, because when did it flood for you guys with all the paper, wasn't it? Or
Oh yeah.
With everything.
Nightmare.
The great illustration
Academy
Academy flood.
That was so bad. I mean, it was so gross because we didn't really, I don't think we dressed for the occasion either.
You weren't flood forward?
We weren't flood forward. No, we showed up like in sneakers and
oh
I think
gosh.
John was like, I remember being like, is the electric cut off? And we're like, I think so.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, and then we're walking up the steps to get in, and John got to the top of the steps and he goes, I don't think this is going to be good. And there was a fish on top of the loading dock step. Like, oh. And then we got a text from the person who was part of the clearing crew, and he said, it's fine, there's no electrical issues, just watch out for the snakes. And it was like, great.
Oh,
Very
great.
Timmy, you and snakes.
No, not a fan, but I live on the edge with them. There's not a snake in Kansas City I'm worried about. It's just going to be inconvenient.
Oh, you
You
can
know?
take. You're
And
confident.
it's going to hurt a little bit.
You're confident about your chances with the Kansas City Snakes.
It would have to be like an escape for it to be a problem, like a
Look that
viper.
up sometime, Timmy. Like 2 years ago, I was having a discussion with my son about that, and we looked up snake bite in Kansas City,
Yeah.
and 11 people got bit by copperheads.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like in South Kansas City, like people working in their gardens and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Jeez.
They do.
Yeah, nobody died.
Yeah. Yeah, because they all, I mean, I'm afraid of snakes if I'm like on a hike in the middle of like Montana and my phone doesn't work.
Yeah, you're off grid or something.
Yeah, but I mean, I think for a water moccasin bite, I think it would have to be like, it would have to be me, like I would have to be getting down to be like, hey, what is this? It would definitely have to be like a face bite. And then I think a combination of being like, I'll get it fixed tomorrow.
I love that you've really thought it out.
Yes, much.
Well, Dale, I when I was in California, I was sharing land with a couple rattlesnakes.
Rattlesnakes. No kidding.
Rattleheads?
No, it's
Rattleheads.
a
That's a
rattlehead
punk
copper
band.
moccasin.
Yeah. Rattlehead is
A
a
fancy shoe now.
no, Rattlehead is a punk band that Dale was in about 20 years ago.
And yeah, we wore rattle moccasins. Around here, we worry about the sharks.
No, I was worried. We were told that there was a couple of rattlers within the area of where our camper was, and Cassandra was like, "You need to get boots." Cassandra went into full mom mode, and
I did. I went full mom on him.
she was like, "You got to be careful. Don't."
Oh my God.
So
And
the things was like, yeah, you can't see anything in the dark, but we just walk real fast through all of it.
Timmy, for
get our
goodness
knees up.
sake, be careful with the snakes.
Yeah, and so I Googled it, and it was like, if you get bit by a rattler, basically you got 48 hours to get to the doctor.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
All the time.
2 days.
I mean, if you wait 48 hours, I think if you were to go on like the 48th hour, you'd be in trouble. Like, I think there would be some pretty intense swelling and stuff, but
hey, Terry, you must have been bitten by a snake at some point. You've done everything else.
Right?
They wouldn't bother me. Man, but you said, watch out, there are many snakes. I don't care if there are many or one. I'm out the other way. I don't want to be living
I
with snakes.
assumed you were gonna say like it was like a spiritual snake at Woodstock.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
The big snake in the sky. Yeah.
Well, remember, once bitten, twice shy. It's a good song.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I thought you were going to say you'd bitten a snake. So,
Yeah.
Give me way too much credit.
Terry, you could really just say anything and, we believe
Yeah, we
it.
believe it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Honestly.
So back to what you didn't want to answer, Terry, how was your mugshot?
Oh, it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. It's as close as I was ever going to look to James Dean or a young Steve McQueen.
Good for you. Good for you.
Sport coat with the collar up and a tight
It's all about the
t-shirt.
pop collar.
Oh yeah.
And there's one looking this way and there's one looking that way. And finally, the case got thrown out of court. The judge gave me quite a talking to. And when we got home, my mother said, I want you to go in the bathroom and take that mug shot and cut it into tiny pieces and flush it down the toilet. And I'm going to do that someday. But for right now, it's gorgeous.
Oh, man.
That's
Did you
funny.
dismiss it because you were so handsome? Is that what?
No, it was 3:00 in the morning and I was toasted and we had a really good time. And I took it back to school and I met some lovely ladies saying, would you like to see my mugshot? Yeah, that's
Wow.
that's a pickup line that's not often used.
For a certain kind of woman, that's a irresistible line.
I would say it's a red flag. I actually have two good friends, and one of them similar situation. Terry overdrank, and I think it was just honestly they arrested him. They took him down. It was in Portland. They took him downtown, and nobody knew he was down there. He was really out of it, and at like 4 a.m, he's coming to, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to call somebody to come pick me up, bail me out. And his like best friend and roommate, Elliot, shows up and is outside the jail cell. And he's like, Elliot, oh my God, how'd you find out? I hadn't even called yet. Did somebody call for me? And he goes, what are you doing here, man? They both gotten arrested and got put in the same jail cell.
Oh, that is awesome.
Oh man, it was
All right,
like
so I missed it. What? So who else has a mug shot here aside from the cool people, Terry and I? Nobody?
that
Well,
John, you gotta be kidding me.
John doesn't have. John, you don't have a mug shot.
John didn't get caught.
John,
I'm
John,
not, I'm not talking.
I'm just a yeah. No. Hey, I'm gonna respond as John's representative.
Are you taking the fifth over there?
He does not have to answer that question, Dale, and
That's
that is
very funny.
that is neither an omission.
That's very very
denial.
fear and loathing of you.
Yeah.
yeah, Cassandra, how's your mugshot?
Oh, I don't have one. My biggest rebellion is following the rules when other people don't.
Oh, whoa.
Okay, think about,
Ouch.
that's good, Cassandra.
That's
Think
good.
about people like, what's the best mugshot you've ever seen?
Oh,
Nick Nolte.
Elvis.
Sinatra.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, guys, mugshot night.
Yeah, there we go.
oh, that would be awesome.
Love it.
I think Sinatra would probably win on that one. I mean, he's
Better than Nick
Elvis.
Nolte's hair?
oh, Nick Nolte's was pretty brutal. That was
Oh
that's
my
not even fair.
I know. Elvis's was great.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix's was really good. Jim Morrison's wasn't great.
Was Bowie's posed?
What everything? Come on,
Yeah.
everything
David Bowie.
he did was
Can you
great.
imagine what that precinct was like when they walked in, David Bowie? I mean, it's just like the star energy of it. Yeah, there's no way it was the normal, you know.
Yeah, but I can't imagine there were a lot of David Bowie fans on the force. You know
No,
what
but
I mean?
I'm saying it just not as fans, but just I think that there's a. I mean, I don't know. Have
Oh,
you
the
ever been around a
wattage, you mean?
celebrity? I don't think people have to care about a celebrity for there to be like a buzz.
Yeah, just like pure wattage.
I mean, David
style
Bowie's
of
David
stuff.
Bowie.
Yeah. No, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I agree.
Hey, or John, should we move on to the next one? I don't know what your schedule is.
Yeah,
But,
let's do one more minute.
Okay.
We had a slow start.
yeah.
Well,
Somebody's-
regrettably, my mugshot resulted from something really not even cool. It was I didn't pay a speeding ticket, and then I got caught speeding again. So it was just stupid plus stupid.
You know, I did get in trouble once in college with Rebecca Ryan and my other friend Diana in Britain because we went to take pictures for an illustration class because we had to illustrate the story of John Henry. And apparently you can't take pictures of railroad tracks. And the
Really?
train police, yeah.
Really?
This guy said he was the train police. He had a badge and said he was going to write us up. And we're like, we're doing homework.
Man.
And we're
Cassandra,
all like,
you
none
are
of us is
gullible.
over 5'4".
Cassandra, I have a friend who's a photographer that was taking photos on a track,
Uh-huh.
and he got the book thrown at him. He was
Seriously?
Yeah,
he
like
was
he was like, this
I
is
mean,
a
it
serious
was-
offense.
It was like 5 years of probation. It was a nightmare.
Oh my God.
That is
Wait,
crazy. I have
what's wrong
done
with photo?
And what's wild is so he was with another photographer. They're both I'm not gonna say their names because I don't think they're proud of it. They weren't doing anything wrong. They were taking photos. But what's wild is and I know this guy's dad really well. His dad's always just like, don't run away from, he basically was like, you weren't doing anything wrong. So the kid just didn't run and his buddy ran. The buddy who ran, got away, but he got in a ridiculous amount of trouble. And it has to do, they said basically it was no different than him like walking onto a tarmac.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
You know what's
What's
crazy to me?
It was really unfortunate because he just was like fully unaware of like what the
Yeah, I had no
idea.
idea that it was anything bad. And there wasn't like a fence around it. It's not like we hopped a
Yeah.
fence to go take pictures. We like walked up to the track and we're taking pictures.
Yeah.
Cassandra,
Yeah.
you know what, a lot of my paintings look like. Half of them are on railroad tracks. I've taken so many pictures on railroad tracks, and
John,
I've been on tarmacs before.
John, you're such a baddie.
No, I never even considered that.
Yeah,
Now I'll think about it.
while you're
Yeah.
doing it.
And
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of it, I did it a lot in Richmond. I lived right under,
Yeah.
like in that Tobacco Row,
Yeah,
right
like, you know what I
underneath the
mean? Like
Cal,
the
and
tracks are everywhere.
the elevated railroad.
Well, Johnny, if you do it and you get busted, just use Cassandra's line. Tell the police, I'm doing
Yeah.
homework.
yeah,
I
It's all
did.
homework.
Yeah.
Worked for her.
Hilarious. Well, it did, because we were just so befuddled, just like, really? We can't do this? Like,
I've
We're just-
acted, yeah.
and so
I've
we were
acted
trying
befuddled.
to explain like the John Henry fable to him to be like, so we have to illustrate it. And like, this was before you really got images off the internet, for reference.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
That is pretty well.
Closest, yeah. The closest I've come, I lived in France for like 6 months, and I was detained for a very long time because I was not arrested and I was fully innocent. I went to a grocery store in the morning and I purchased groceries for the day. And then like 2 hours later, I was like, oh, I forgot to grab this additional grocery item. I walked into the grocery store. I passed the security guard, and right as I stepped past him, I was like, oh, I forgot. They check bags here. And I had a backpack with all my groceries in it. And so I said, hey, sir, you need to see in my bag. And he was like, give me the bag. Like, and we're speaking in French. My French was terrible. And he was like, let me see the bag. And I was like, no. I wanted to show you the bag to demonstrate that I purchased these things. I wanted to show you proof of purchase before I go in the store. And he goes, you were just in the store. And I was like, no. I just walked in front of you, like right now. And he's like, no, you were in the store. What's in your bag? And I was like, you're not going to like it.
Oh my God.
And I was like, you're going to think I stole it, but I didn't. I was here earlier. I passed by you. I'm trying to do the right thing. And then I could tell my French was so bad. It was lost in translation. And he opens the bag and he just yells, voleur.
You're right.
And I was like, oh no. I was like, no voleur.
You're
And-
in trouble for trying to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, you
And
shouldn't.
it was
do
really
that.
scary. I thought I was going to get, because, I was in this program where, man, they would have kicked me out and they wouldn't have tolerated anything like that. It was so
And you tried to
stupid.
be honest in a foreign language, which is,
It was very
attack-
difficult.
it's a tactical error.
Yeah.
I was in France. I did that backpack trip. I was meeting these 3 gals that I knew from New York who were also backpacking. We were going to meet in the town of Colmar. I got there a day early. I'm thinking, maybe they got to the hotel a day early. So I go up to the guy at the desk. It's kind of, late. They're almost closing up. And I say, I want to ask him if he has 3 American women in the hotel. Pretty simple. Avez-vous?
Oh, no.
Okay, got that part right.
Oh no.
Three. Oh, the Latin kick. Uno, dos, tres. Yeah, tres. American woman.
Wait,
Oh.
are we talking French? This is the wrong
I
language.
said femme. So I said,
Wrong language, Terry.
avez-vous tres American femme? I asked him if he had a very American wife.
Carrie, just let me.
Oh, no.
He took umbrage. I mean, go
Yeah,
figure.
Yeah.
But he laughed the rest of the weekend when the 3 American women showed up. So I didn't have to pay for the groceries like Tim did twice.
Oh,
You had to pay the
I-
joke second time, right?
yeah. And I think that they gave up. They started to feel so bad for me because they could tell I was freaking out. That I think at a certain point they were just like, this kid definitely doesn't have the nerve to be
Yeah, yeah. This guy's not hard.
Right.
like he's definitely not. He clearly barely just has the confidence to deal with what's happening right now. Yeah, so I got out of it. By
Were you,
just having to
were
pay
you
for
actually
stuff.
crying in French?
I wasn't crying in French, but I did just like, I was very like, I was panicky because I was like, it was all happening really quickly where it was like, oh, I'm going to get this stupid like shoplifting charge and I'm going to get sent home. You know, I'm going to lose my student visa over it. Oh man, I was like freaking out. And it was like because I went to go get like a bottle of ketchup. It was like the dumbest thing. Yeah.
And you had just seen the movie Papillon, so you thought yourself in some French prison
Oh yeah,
somewhere.
I was already
Boom to
imagining.
Devil's Island.
I was already imagining Devil's Island. I was gonna befriend Dustin Hoffman and
It's almost like it's like a Les Mis that you were like Jean Valjean.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's good. That's great, Cassandra.
Oh, thanks.
I'm
Oh,
gonna-
that's nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Guys, we have to move on to the
Yeah,
next.
we're gonna move on. I
realized
wanted to
got
see
too much
everybody's
done,
drawings.
So we must be really
Yeah.
past our
I'm
point.
gonna
It's
spotlight
almost-
Dale real quick.
It's almost the end
Bill.
of the hour.
I think we're drawing 3 tonight, right?
Yeah, we might have to just do 3.
That's okay.
Make them count.
We can
All
do
right,
that.
everybody, we are moving on quick to the second image now.
Drawing better.
Yeah, Dale, that looks great.
Really fun, Dale.
Oh, thanks.
John, you might have heard this story just on the on the topic of false reviews. When my dad was in France with the Cousteaus, he couldn't speak any French, and he ended up on the metro, and a person came on the metro in complete hysterics and started yelling at my father, and he didn't understand it, and he was with a man named Falco, who was part of the Cousteau Society. And my dad goes, "What is she yelling at me?" And she goes, "Murderer."
What?
And he goes, "What?" And he goes, Falco goes, "We should leave." Yeah, and it was like a mistaken identity or something. He was like, "Oh my God." Yeah.
Just a simple case of mistaken identity.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's like that's like just classic Tim Trebon, like.
Are we only doing 3 tonight or are we doing 4?
I would,
Well,
John,
let's
your
do-
call. It's already 7:45, so.
yeah, let's do, well, we can do 3. If somebody wants to squeeze the 4th in there, they can, but we can focus on 3.
I'm just
Okay.
trying, I'm looking at the images. I'm just trying to decide if I want to, if I want to,
Yeah,
It gives me permission to go to Randall Tex Cop.
that's what I want to go to.
yeah. All right. Let's all, unless you really want to jump to your own, let's jump to Randall.
Well, no, or you can,
You can do Holly Hunter.
Well,
I'm
either
not telling
one.
anybody
All
else
right.
not to.
All right, everybody. This is
Oh,
a take it easy night. We're on island time.
I need that tonight.
All right.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
been a
it.
crazy week. I'm happy for like
Let's do 3 poses.
lackadaisical.
Let's do it.
So all your first timers that like, we're sorry. Like,
We're actually not.
Yeah. Bad boy Dale. Bad boy Dale is not sorry.
Yeah, I didn't pay a speeding ticket.
A lot of people don't know this, but Dale's wearing a leather jacket right now.
Yeah. I love this persona you're making of him.
Yeah.
I'm not nearly that cool.
Dale, I mean,
Yeah.
you do seem like, I mean, you've done all these cool bike races, you run Ironman, and you're just like, everyone can do it, which I totally disagree.
Oh my God, anybody can do that stuff.
No, I don't think
It doesn't mean you do it like fast, but
Yeah.
anybody can do it.
You guys don't know this, but right below Dale's wrist is just sleeve tattoos.
You're funny. No, nothing like that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Let's see those guns.
They're
Yeah.
ballpoint pen prison tattoos.
Well done tattoos are really cool, but there's
Yeah.
not an image that I don't eventually move on from. I don't know about you guys. Is that an artist
Same
thing?
way. Yeah,
What's that, Bill?
I'm the same exact way.
Yeah, like I just couldn't commit to an image.
I have
Yeah.
a tattoo.
What is it?
It's of a painter's palette.
Are you happy with it? When did you get it?
Oh, I got it 15 years ago, and no, I would love to get it fixed.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, I mean, it's pretty appropriate for an artist.
yeah.
Yeah.
I given the design, and I have since learned better about researching, like knowing your tattoo artist, and it was
Oh,
just
yeah.
not somebody that had the same vision as me. So now I've gotten to know a lot more. I just have a little one, but someday I'll get it fixed.
I know a couple of tattoo artists in Richmond,
Yeah.
Thea Duskin and
Jesse,
Jesse.
right?
Yeah, Jesse
Yeah.
Smith.
Jesse's,
He's awesome.
yeah, he's
He
like,
was on like tattoo, like like Tattoo Masters or whatever that show is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ink Masters or whatever?
Yeah.
Masters.
he's been on, I think he's been in Ink magazine before. Yeah.
Went to the Illustration Academy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I
To
was,
the
we were in the
tat- to
same
the
VCU
tattoo.
program.
And then a really great tattoo artist is
Yeah.
Natalie Hall.
Yeah, she's amazing.
John, did Sean Barber go to the Illustration Academy?
No, he did not.
Oh,
But
okay.
I met him at the Illustration Academy. He was teaching a high school program at Ringling the first year we were there.
Oh,
And
no
he
kidding.
he had just graduated Ringling.
Huh.
Not maybe the year or two before that. And then I got to, he shared a studio for a couple of years with Andrea Wickland in San Francisco. And he's had great things happen to him. I mean, he's just worked at it so hard, and he's a
Yeah,
very
he's-
good painter.
Phenomenal. And I don't know if he actually does tattoos or if he just paints.
I think he does do tattoos now.
Yeah.
But he was on when they stopped panning at the beginning of Kat Von D's show, whatever that what
Oh, yeah.
that huge portrait of hers. That's his painting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, his tattoo. Well, I mean, his work in general is really incredible.
He's
but
great.
Are
the
there any
tattoos-
tattoo artists drawing with us tonight? I'm just curious. In the crowd? Any tattoo enthusiasts?
I'll use that as a segue to tell this, Dale. You'll get a kick out of this. When I went to his studio, I went with George Pratt and Sterling and Brent. There's a whole group of us. It was probably 2 a.m. in the morning after we'd been out all evening. And he took us to his studio. I laughed so hard. He said he hadn't done an illustration in 4 or 5 years, of just total focus on painting. And I said, well, and then at the same time, as he was explaining that, he handed me a card. And it was like on a really thick cardstock. And I looked at it and it had like paint all over the back of it. And I said, what is this? How did you make this? He goes, oh, he said about 2 years ago, I cut up all my illustration work and made cards.
Oh my God. Wow. Good for him.
Good for him.
He said, I needed to make a commitment. He goes, and
Yeah.
that was the commitment.
Yeah.
That's
Way to-
really impressive.
way to
Cut it
go.
all apart.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really talented guy, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Super talented.
Nice guy, and has just worked really hard at it.
Yep.
That's a good attitude. Imagine, if everyone heard that Joe Ciardello in these recent water imbroglios he's going through with his studio lost almost everything he's ever done.
Whoa.
He'd be very sad. But the reality, he's already been paid for them. Of the 2,000 originals he's got in his studio, a lot of them were day-to-day jobs. Yep, there's that top 200. Set those aside. If the rest go out with the tide, you know what? It makes the other 200 that much more valuable.
It's
That's
true.
the whole story of Jack Davis, the famous cover artist for Mad Magazine, and great cartoon caricaturist. Guy made tons of money. Moved to the coastline of South Carolina, Hilton Head, South Carolina. Great house. And Alex Morosky, who chaired the program at the University of Georgia, used to tell me that everything he's ever done is below high tide. So he went to his studio and said, Jack, would you let me at least take 200 and put them in the attic? Oh, no one's ever going to want any of that old stuff. As well, maybe someday they will. And dag nabbit, if a year later a hurricane didn't come through and what's left of Jack's oeuvre, those 200 paintings, best he ever did. But, you know, he realized he was already paid for them, you know, supply and demand.
Wow.
You know,
I
you
can
got to
tell
know
you,
what.
I can tell you one almost as good, or maybe even better, Terry. Fred Ottness.
Didn't he have a studio?
Yeah,
Fire?
he burned his studio down.
God.
He was he had this very complex process, but when you transfer this print process he had onto canvas, he would use linseed oil, and linseed oil will self-combust if you wad up a rag and leave it, you know, throw it in a
Oh, yeah, I've
basket,
heard about
it
that.
will light on fire. And it did. And he had this beautiful home. He burnt half his home and studio down and lost hundreds of originals.
Oh my gosh.
I remember having this conversation with him and my father, and he said, well, you know, it was kind of rough to lose all of that. He said, but have you ever heard of a Chubb policy? He had it all insured, and he got paid again
A second time.
all of
Yeah.
his work at a very good price.
Oh,
And
that
he
is
he was
amazing.
not that unhappy about it.
Yeah, Fred was a good businessman. Yep. One of your listeners chimed in that Alex Morosky was one of their teachers. He was a good, solid
cool.
citizen down there with the University of Georgia. Good football. Yep, good art program as well. And sometimes it could be one teacher among a group who's showing the more applied arts to the fine art community. I think Norman Rockwell had 2 studio fires.
Yeah.
His supply and demand is because a lot of his originals don't exist anymore. So
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I know, I believe, and I could be wrong about this, but I believe the comic book artist Eric Larson, his entire body of work before I think it was 91, burned in the Oakland fire.
Oh, wow.
He lost his house. And
Say
Jeez.
Gary Larson?
Eric Larson,
Eric Larson.
he was one of the image guys. He created a character called Savage Dragon, and worked with what's the guy's name? Makes all the toys. Todd McFarlane.
Todd McFarlane. Is Todd
Yeah.
McFarlane still doing his thing? Is he
I don't
still
know.
a guy?
I don't know.
Because he was it for a little while, right?
I think he's still making toys, and he still has a company, but I don't know.
I remember when he first, sort of emerged, it was a big deal.
they'll stop for a second. You just did the cigar and the mouth
I know, and it's
in about
perfect.
30 seconds, and
Oh.
it put Dale did, and it just
Yeah.
put the entire face. It finished the drawing. You could sign this thing and walk away, and that
That's
bad
it?
boy is done.
I'm
Yep.
done.
You're
Yep.
done.
Oh,
Kick
great.
back, have a cocktail.
Heading out for a bike ride.
That is great. I'm amazed at how you.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
How do you know that it was that one thing that makes it happen?
Well, Terry, here's where I keep going and ruin it. You just
Yeah.
go ruin the rest of it, right?
Oh, I'd erase the signature right
Harley
now.
Quinn.
Nice.
Remember a couple weeks ago? Harley Quinn.
Right,
Tell me
right.
stop. I stopped. So now it's your turn. Stop.
Stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stop. It's great.
All
That
right.
was cool.
All right, that's it. Wow.
Make another
Okay.
one.
Yeah, good do, Holly Hunter.
Now what do you guys want to talk about? All right, you know what? There, I can do that.
I drew half of Marlon Brando's face today, and it was better before I tried to finish it. That's why it was so easy to go, oh, I'm going to turn him into Thanos.
Oh, is that the one you texted us saying it was Thanos?
Yeah.
I thought that was very funny.
That was Timmy. He was like, you should just draw a couple lines down and that's Thanos. I think he would have made a better Thanos than James Brolin.
You know, Bill, I've watched at this point hundreds of people draw for thousands of hours. And that's the only art direction I've ever handed out.
That was great.
It was good.
What? Stop?
Yeah.
No, I said, if you put 3 lines on that chin, you got Thanos.
Oh, that's very funny.
You didn't tell them which 3 lines. That's
Yeah. That's
It actually took 4 lines, but
Terry, I'm a hands-off art director, you know?
good. Good for you.
Yeah.
So your art direction is have fun with it, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
maddening.
Let it vibe a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
Have fun with it. As soon as you
feel
hear
like-
have fun with it, it's over.
I don't see the energy yet.
Bill, yours is looking good. It's making me think a bit of a 1970s like folk record album right now.
it's the best of bread.
I ended up painting the brawny paper towel man over here.
He looks like,
That's funny.
what's his name from Hogwarts?
Yeah, Hagrid. Yeah, I was feeling
Hagrid,
some
yeah.
Hagrid on that too.
My dude's too nice, he looks
Yours
doesn't-
looks like a really jolly guy.
like really what?
Like a really jolly guy.
Yeah, mine guy doesn't look,
Well, that's
doesn't-
why I was feeling like it was a folk album. Like the hair is amazing. It's good. I really like it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just having fun with this big old piece of charcoal here. I also like his head's kind of a vignette. Got that like very soft focus spread.
I have a friend that is his doppelganger. It looks just
I
like
know who
him.
you're gonna say.
But he has blonde hair.
Yeah.
Very much the same character too.
Funny.
So I'm gonna pedal back to tattoos because I think I have my family has a really good tattoo story. My grandfather, when he was like, I think he was 9 years old. This is with his age, I think that this would have been around the Depression. He ran away from home and hopped trains
Wow.
and just disappeared. They thought that he died. They didn't know what happened to him. Very like just disappeared. And a year later, he was found at the border in Mexico. And it was like a cross state line job of like these different precincts to bring him back to Kansas City.
What?
And when they brought him back to the police, because they like were returning him, police officers driving him across states. And when he got back to Kansas City, they brought him to his family's, the neighborhood church to meet with his mom and the priest. And he had a tattoo of a bull on his forearm.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like 9 years old.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, he had a tattoo of a bull on his forearm. And the priest said, well, at least we'll be able to identify his body now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he had it. I have video footage of him because he was he was very much like an artist. He carried he was one of the first of his community to get like a Super 8 camera, and he brought it with him to the Pacific during World War II. And so I digitized all of it a few years ago.
Wow.
And we were all very skeptical of whether he actually had this tattoo on his forearm, and you can see it in the footage.
Ah,
Whoa.
I've always thought that would be, if I was gonna get a tattoo, it would be cool. That would be
the
the
bull?
one to get the bull on the forearm.
Yeah, but you have to be 9.
Right?
Sure, maybe I'll get it. Maybe if I have a kid, Dale.
You'll. Hey, yeah, we're gonna. Tell your mother, it's temporary.
Right.
If you can convince Gianna of that,
That's
Most
really
kids for their 9th birthday would like a bicycle, perhaps, or a
I know, I
Game
think
Boy. No, you're gonna get a tattoo.
I think I got a GI Joe. That's really funny.
I think the funniest present that I heard of somebody giving to their children, and funny, just how times have changed. My grandfather gave my dad's brother on his 12th birthday a carton of cigarettes.
Oh my God,
Oh, God.
That's incredible.
that's a different era.
Because he
Really
liked to
is.
smoke.
That was when your doctor smoked.
Yeah,
How-
right,
how old
in the
was he?
hospital room.
He was 12. So the same man at 86 years old, who was staying with my father,
Yeah.
he was probably 84 at the time. He lived to be 86. Filled out, I helped him do it. He filled out a survey from Philip Morris. And the first question was, how long have you been smoking? So he's 80, say he's 82. So we'll say he's 80 years old for the simplicity of math. And so he had been smoking for 68 years.
Oh.
A month later at my dad's house, this gross carton, this box of 4-foot square cube of cigarettes shows up at my dad's house because he was living with my dad at the time. Philip Morris sent him this huge pile. If we haven't gotten you yet, we're going to get you now.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
It's like how the casinos let the high rollers stay for free. They want you
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Man, you know how much it's changed is I had read a thing. Somebody can like Snopes this if it's true. I'm sure it sounds true. Churchill had asthma. Was it Churchill that Terry? You would know this. Churchill had asthma. Was that?
Oh, yeah, this is true.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay. I just know you're the historian in the bunch.
Yes.
He had asthma, and they would make him when he was a kid smoke cigars to help his lungs.
Oh,
yeah.
Theodore Roosevelt, yes.
Is it Teddy Roosevelt? I knew
Yeah,
it was one of the-
Theodore
Yeah.
Roosevelt did have asthma, and that was one thing they did is take him out in a carriage ride so he go as fast as he can through cold night air, smoking a cigar.
Well, yeah, you got to strengthen your lungs. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
Oh my God! Can you imagine having an asthma attack and then inhaling a cigar?
Well, they
Oh,
also believe that it relaxed the larynx too. So like if you were having any kind of like throat trouble or your
Oh
voice
my
isn't great, they
God.
were just like, smoke a cigarette.
Oh my God!
Give you a prescription, dispense as written.
Yeah. Oh. No, thank you.
You guys all were in art school. You must have had to smoke to get in. Wasn't that part of the?
I'm telling you, I'm a rule follower to no end. I've never smoked a cigarette.
That's amazing. That is.
I have not either.
I haven't. Yeah, me
So
neither.
yeah, John.
What?
Me neither.
I had a huge disdain for
Really?
cigarettes because everybody in my family smoked. And it drove me
Wow.
nuts.
Yeah, well, my grandpa got lung cancer. I'm just like, I'm not paying some company to give me cancer. Like yeah, I've never had any interest.
I didn't smoke either, but I lived in Florida, in the Miami area, the year after college with two of my buddies just hanging out, and they smoked like chimneys. So after a while, I went to the store and bought a pack of Ocean 100s and started smoking. And after a week, they said, "Brown, what are you doing?" I says, "Well, you're blowing it in my face, so I'm going to blow it in your face." They said, "You stop right now. We'll go outside to smoke." So
Oh, that's cool.
they fetched up that it was a problem, but
Should have
So
tried
did
that on
you
my
quit
parents.
after that, or did you keep smoking?
no, I didn't. I did. Actually, my mom smoked very heavily, as did my dad. And I'm the youngest of four. And when she was pregnant with me, the doctor said, "You've got a bad cough. If you don't stop smoking, you're not going to have that baby."
Oh,
So I am the poster child for cold turkey.
Wow. Wow.
Oh,
I
that's
pretty
amazing.
much quit cold turkey as well when I was 16. I had my wisdom teeth pulled and I couldn't smoke for 4 days. So
Did the dentist say, listen, don't smoke for 4 days?
yeah, well, then I tried it again and it was disgusting.
Good for you, Bill. Good for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I heard a saying today about smoking, and from like a heavy smoker, and they're like, you get to a point where you're smoking a cigarette to feel the sensation of having never smoked a cigarette.
Well, I think, isn't
To
that,
get rid of the side effect of not having it, you just smoke it just to go back to normal. You know?
yeah, but I mean, isn't that the nature of most addictive drugs? You're always chasing that first
No, it's
high,
not
right?
it's not the first feeling of like the buzz of the first
Not
cigarette.
eating donuts, Dale.
Yeah. No, he was basically saying just to make the bad feeling go away, just to, yeah. I mean, basically, Dale, I mean, yeah, that's addiction. Yeah. Or chemical to avoid chemical withdrawal. Yeah.
That's why I keep coming back here. I just want it to be as good as that first
First
night.
Social isolation.
I thought it was awesome.
Isolation. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, Dale.
Yeah.
This is probably not going to happen.
Yeah, well. Yeah, I never smoked though. I was an athlete and it just didn't seem to make any sense. I tried actually, and I just couldn't, I couldn't inhale. I just gagged. So I was like, okay, well, let's move on. Next thing.
Yeah. Any of you have been to the Society of Illustrators dining room? Think of that room with the Rockwell Dover coach and the big NC Wyeth painting and a couple of J.C. Leyendecker oil covers for the Saturday Evening Post in a room where people were smoking like crazy
Oh yeah.
for 30 years. Every so often the paintings had to get cleaned. And I saw it being done once, and the yellow river that flowed off those things, you think that's in your lungs?
Oh wow, yeah.
That would be an AMA video for, maybe you should think about the smoking thing.
Hey, I found a photo of Dale actually from that era.
Yes.
Close, yeah. No. No, that was, see, I wasn't about that. That was like the Duran Duran side of the 80s
Oh,
music. I
I'm
was
so
not
sorry.
about that.
Got a nice fuzz working there. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The real thing is so much better, Dale.
It really is.
It really is.
That was good though.
Yeah, Dale, I wish you weren't an artist. So it would be easier to find these photos of you. But when I look, all I find is your artwork. And I'm like, no, I'm just looking for the
Yeah,
hair.
right.
No, it was
Very.
pre-internet, man.
Oh,
I sent-
Thanos. I'll show you guys Thanos again. So
Oh, the
yeah.
Dennis Brando.
Well, first I'll show you my possessed really bad drawing of Cicely Tyson from this morning.
Bill, I'd really like if you started crediting me at least as the art director.
There's my possessed Cicely Tyson.
It
And
has
there-
a doll-like quality.
It has a what?
Doll-like quality.
Yeah, there's Marlon Brando's Thanos. I kept thinking of The Ring. After I was,
Days.
you know,
Wait, no, it should be Marlon Thandos.
Ooh, nice.
It's been sitting there in front of us this whole time.
I just like that you're cracking yourself up over there.
who, me or
No,
Timmy?
Timmy. I do want to point out that we should be having like our old movie monster theme night too, as we head into
Oh,
fall.
I was going to hold on to October for that.
Okay, that's fine. I think we can make that a couple weeks worth because it's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, William Forsythe is so young in this photo.
I know.
I mean,
He's like always in the background of movies, like mob movies, stuff like that. He's always just hanging out in the background.
he's been in I only know him from like kind of forgettable C-list movies. Did
Yeah.
he have like a major career?
Oh my, he's been in a ton of movies.
I mean,
Oh, that's a major career. And then
Yes.
director will say, give me that guy who's in the background with the guy, you know.
he's the character.
Yeah.
But his whole career has been character acting, right?
Yeah.
He was Al Capone, I think, in Untouchables TV show.
Okay.
Oh, was he
He's
really?
done a lot of TV work also. You know, Randall Tex Scott's been in like 15 or 20 movies too. He was in like Ace Ventura, and I'll look at his list here. It was pretty amazing.
I'll pull it up, John.
He also had 45 heavyweight fights.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
And he lost to Larry Holmes, but he beat some really,
He beat Leon Spinks.
He beat Leon Spinks. He beat Ernie Shavers, who was a
Shavers.
top 3 contender at one point. He said that he couldn't believe Larry Holmes wouldn't take another fight with him because he didn't want to hurt his hands.
Right.
Because he hit him so many times in the head.
He had that chin. He had that Marciano chin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He couldn't knock the guy out.
Yeah. He's in a lot of stuff. He was in one of the Ernest movies, which is a
Yep.
big part of
Yes.
the
Pet Detective,
yeah.
Jim Carrey movie.
Oh my God, Ace Ventura. Between Ace Ventura and Ernest Goes to Jail, those are two.
Oh my God.
I love the Ernest movies, like Ernest Goes to Camp.
I couldn't do them. Couldn't do it.
Fantastic. I haven't watched this since I was a kid. I need to- I
I'm
need to go
questioning
back to
who
that.
I'm drawing with now. Jeez. Really?
I don't know, John.
Not a big
John, what are we
Ernest.
doing, man?
Not a big Ernest fan, John?
I'm not an Ernest fan.
Yeah, me neither. See?
You people know your movies, and I think everyone who's watching on the sidelines is impressed. So I have to go watch movies all night to try to catch up. It's been a joy, gang. I'll see you soon.
Bye,
Thanks,
Terry.
Terry. Good to talk
Thanks,
to you,
Terry.
man.
Hang in there.
Hey,
The illustration isolation mailman has left.
I know, that's funny.
Bye, Mr. McFeely.
Yeah, yeah.
Bye. Yeah, we should be saying bye, Mr. Terry Brown.
Or before your time, Timmy, Mr. Green Jeans.
Oh,
Oh, I loved Mr. Green Jeans.
Mr. Green Jeans.
Who's Mr. Green Jeans?
He was on Captain Kangaroo.
Captain Kangaroo, man.
Oh, Captain Kangaroo was a little before my time.
Oh, you missed it.
You know, I was busy rocking Zoobly Zoo, on PBS. So there you go.
I forgot what comedian it was. Oh, it was oh gosh, can't think of his name. Sorry about that.
Always my favorite part. Always.
Yeah, sorry. Sam Kennison did a whole bit on Captain Kangaroo and his wife. And his wife
Oh,
marrying this entertainer that ended up getting caught being Captain Kangaroo for his whole career.
that's funny.
And he said the best part of it was, it's like, did you have to have that haircut? Was that part of your contract? It's like, just like straight line of bangs across.
Yeah, that was like the haircut your mom gave you.
That was so sad.
Was the haircut part of your contract?
John, I think I told you about this, but I don't think we talked about it here. I was listening to a comedian being interviewed, and he talks about how when he met Sam Kinison, he was like, how'd you come up with your stage character? And Kinison goes, I'm just doing Gene Wilder. And he's just like, and when you listen to him, you're like, oh my God, yeah, he's doing Gene Wilder.
Yeah, yeah.
He was funny.
Yeah.
Hey, on character actors, have you guys ever seen that documentary called The Guy Who Was in That Thing, or something like that?
It's a great name. I didn't see that though.
It's all about character actors. And
Oh,
then,
that sounds so fun.
and they did another one called it was like That Guy, that girl who was in that thing, and it was a lot of the female character actors. And
Sounds like Dale and I in portfolio class. Trying to remember everybody's name. Yeah.
Oh, who is it? Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
I
about.
gotta put a reel together of that stuff. If John, that would sell the program right there. You'd be inundated.
Oh, I watched a crazy documentary.
What was it?
Shocking news for you. The Woodstock 99.
Oh my God, that was so good, Cassandra. I saw it too.
That was just like, so
It's really
I am
actually
so
upsetting.
glad I was never tempted to go to that festival because it just looked like a horror story.
It
was, yeah.
It was terrible. It was worse than I thought it was.
Yeah. And then
I
the
think-
promoter was just like, it wasn't that bad. People are talking it up and they're showing all the footage.
The footage is really actually upsetting. Like,
Yeah, it really is. And like,
yeah,
then they would just be like, oh, well, we're just on Saturday. Wait for Sunday.
yeah. It was I had no idea it was so bad. I just thought it was like, remember Fire Island?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like, I kind of thought like, oh, it was like Fire Island, except like they continued like for 3 days. But Fire Island was like cute.
Well, and yeah, I couldn't get over just like how it didn't get shut down.
So I remember.
Where
I didn't see
was
the-
it?
It was in Pennsylvania. They were trying to have it near where the old Woodstock was. They were trying to play off the nostalgia of it was like the 30th anniversary of Woodstock. But they beyond that, they didn't do anything else related to Woodstock. And it was just
They
terrible
left a
planning.
piece of love out.
They just wanted to make money, and they picked the artists of the day, which were not like, it basically attracted a bunch of like angry young white men, and they could not control the crowd at all. And it just like went on, and it just kept getting worse.
And it was also like a drought and there was no break from the sun. It was like 100 degrees and there wasn't enough water. And it was just
and
like
then
watching Lord of the Flies.
Oh,
it was like Lord of the Flies. And then the other thing was like, that was, and this is, I think maybe where opinions can like differ on it, is that like the way the artists, some of the artists like handled it. Some of the artists were just put in like horrible situations. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they all were put in horrible
Mhm.
situations, but some of them went out and like the show should have just been canceled. But like the whole Anthony Kiedis, like the mayor goes to Anthony Kiedis of like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and is like, you know, people are rioting. There's fires everywhere. Can you please try and like calm them down? And I guess like the answer is like Anthony Kiedis, that is not his job. He's a rock star. He only knows how to be a rock star. And you could tell this mayor was just like, please, Anthony,
Oh, wow.
please don't go be a rock star right now. Please go tell people to calm down. And Anthony Kiedis went on and played
Light My Fire by Jimi Hendrix.
yeah.
While there was fire everywhere.
And it was like
But like
uh,
the
it was-
musicians were being who they were, and it was obvious that the promoter had not researched who they were. So like
yeah.
Limp Bizkit was just inciting anger and like encouraging people to destroy things. But that was him being him. And the promoter was like, oh, I fault like all of these problems to these guys. And I was like, you put them all together. And then in between you had like Jewel. And then you put on somebody else. And then there's Alanis Morissette. Like it was just a very odd combination.
And just like Moby's interviewed, and he's just like, we got there, and I was like, we got to leave as fast as possible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I gotta watch this.
It's really
Yeah.
good. It's kind of like, it looks at it from like the whole perspective of what was happening with like the MTV era too, because like Carson Daly is there, and like nobody knows that, like nobody, like Cassandra was saying, like nobody did the math, and they were like, these people are gonna murder the MTV crew if they see them.
Wow.
Because these people hate MTV. And it became like legitimately like Lord of the Flies. Like the guys that work with MTV were like, we had to like sneak out in the night
They had to
Holy
flee.
crap.
Yeah. I had no idea it was this like, wow, that show, the Music Box show, you're gonna like it, Dale. They're supposed to release, I think, 4 more documentaries.
Huh.
And it's done by Bill Simmons, the guy who does
Oh, yeah.
you know Bill Simmons, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
So,
like
it's like
30
watching a
people.
car crash.
It's
Yeah.
so I hate to self-promote. My band played the 10th? No, 20. In 1989, we played an anniversary show there. So yeah, that'd be the 20th. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
20,
right.
yeah, 20th. It was in the original site, the Max Yasgur's farm. And it was actually Bethel, New York. It wasn't, it's not Woodstock. Woodstock's next door.
Yeah, that's where this was. This was in Bethel.
I would recommend
Um,
anybody that watches
this
it.
But it was at
this
like
was
an
the
Air
ori-
Force base.
Oh, okay. This was the original
Yeah.
Yasgur farm, where Woodstock actually occurred. And it was nothing like that. It was, actually like super lame. But somebody probably looked and was like, you know what, we can make some money there.
Yeah. I will say, anybody that's planning on watching it, definitely read the content warning for it, because it's pretty.
Oh, it's not kid friendly. Don't have it on around kids. It's sad.
It's like really, yeah, it's like not like there's like a class action park lawsuit type documentary, and this was not that. This was, oof. Yeah. But it was interesting. They talk about like the original Woodstock and like how it wasn't all it was like remembered for either.
Oh yeah.
Deviate the memory of it that has been like baked into the history of our pop culture, and then the reality of it, which was like, it was really, I don't like butcher some of the stuff, but it was not a pleasant place, and like several people like died, and it was like pretty, it was pretty like, that's not really mentioned. I don't know. They do it really great. I recommend it because they juxtapose it to like, Coachella today, and it kind of made me be like, you kind of appreciate it a little bit more.
Well, I mean, it provides us a good warning for what not to do. This is a cautionary tale of like when money and not thinking things through go together.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not unusual at all.
No, but this one was really well documented so that you can just
All right.
not avoid it.
No,
See it roll out over like, yeah, it's like happening in real time. Now, if you are looking for an entertaining disaster, I highly recommend checking out either of the Fire Festival documentaries.
Yeah, they were like dueling documentaries at the same time.
They were basically the same. One of them was produced by the production company that was actually part of producing Fire Festival. So I would avoid that one probably. But that documentary was hilarious.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet. I need to go watch that.
Oh, Sandra,
Maybe
you
it's
like
like a palate cleanser from this one.
Oh wow! Now I really want to see this.
Yeah.
That bad, huh?
Oh, Dale, it's whatever you think it is, it's worse.
It's intense.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then you just kind of have to, you just keep watching.
Live text it to me, Dale. I want to.
All right.
Like what? Jewel was there. Who else was there?
Alanis Morissette and Sheryl Crow were the only.
Alanis Morissette talk about angry.
Well, no, she was.
No, I'm kidding.
Like she was more chill during this time.
Yeah, I know. I'm kidding.
And even Jewel was like, I did not want to be there. The vibe was bad.
Yeah, it's so weird. So.
But I'll bet in the music business, I mean, it sounds like this got way out of control, but you kind of grow up in the music business, you grow up in bad situations. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, let's face it, you know, bars are just breeding grounds for violence and
Yeah.
people with bad attitudes, and you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
musicians are really used to
I would
sketchy
say,
situations.
Dale, I would say none of the musicians involved with Woodstock 99 were like rock and roll. No, they were like, this is wrong. Why is this
No
happening?
kidding. All right, I am
Yeah.
watching tonight.
Yeah. Like hearing
Really?
Offspring just being like, hearing them reprimand, like, no, that's not okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Offspring stopped their show, which
Yeah.
you never would have expected to be like,
I would have never expected that from Offspring.
It's
Yeah.
funny, at the time, I remember reading about it because I was really interested in it from a, like I said, because we had played a very lame precursor to that. And I remember reading somebody, one of the attendees saying they were charging $2 for a bottle of water. And I remember thinking, yeah,
no, Dale,
No, they were charging $4.
$4 for a bottle of water, $4 for a beer.
I'm going to, oh, no
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
So that was actually a big part of the disaster, is they had a bunch of young men there and they were charging the exact same amount for water for beer.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say if I'm going to show how privileged I am here, but if anybody's ever been to a resort, a $4 water is you're getting out pretty good.
Yeah, Dale, the last time
Yeah.
I stayed in a hotel in New York at the bar, I paid $8.50 for Diet Coke.
Yep.
Yeah. I gotta say, if $4 for a bottle of water in 1999, I mean,
Yeah.
that was a lot.
That's pretty aggressive.
When
Yeah.
I was in New York in 2014, we were staying in Brooklyn. We went to a park, and it said $2 for a bottle of water. On the guy's cart, and I got 3 waters, and I gave him a 10. He gave me $1 back, and I'm like, "There's $3 missing." And he goes, "Oh, well, that's the Sunday price." And I'm like,
Oh my God, that's awesome.
no. You know what? I'll just go get the water from the guy across the way.
This Sunday for
You have
that.
no
I was like, it was so
He was like,
obviously like BS that
yeah.
I almost laughed. I was like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, if had the water been $3 a bottle that marked in the sign, that would have been fine. But that was just too much.
Bill's had enough. He's not taking it anymore.
Well, I think the thing is that only someone who doesn't live in Brooklyn is going to come to that park and buy water.
Yeah. Hey, we're at 8:30, so.
These drawings look fantastic, guys.
And I know we typically
Really cool.
wrapping this at around 2 hours. So
Oh, cool. Oh, Dale, that's awesome.
yeah, that's so great.
That's
thanks.
so cool.
Thanks.
Really
That's a
cool,
fun
Dale.
pose.
You really, I love the way you pushed
Should we tell
her.
people to move on to the third image, or
Yeah, go ahead and start the third image.
this is island time episode. It's follow your heart. Somebody said first time here. Does Tim draw too?
Tim, you got to
No.
draw, man.
No, that would be bad for business.
Now you got to do it. You know what? Just like Iron Man's, anybody can draw. It just takes some practice. So what we ought to do is we ought to get you drawing, and we're going to show how much you can improve. The thing is, you have to be committed and do it a lot.
Progress.
Yeah. And while we do that, I'll train John to do all the technical stuff, and we'll just
Oh, here we go.
slowly over time.
Guys
Oh
will
my God,
become
you
each
guys are
other.
like an old couple. Oh, sure.
Do you guys ever see that one app that you could take two images and it just morph them together?
Yeah.
Kind of, or you know, the love child of.
I
Yeah.
don't like where this is going. So
Yeah. Yeah, Bill, backpedal. Bill, make good choices.
Wow.
Make- Bill.
Surfer Timmy's gone.
Man, I'm so tempted to do another type of drawing right now. If I got a good Timmy
Yeah.
Trayvon reference around.
Yeah, Dale, unfortunately, I left Surfer Timmy near the surf.
Surfer Timmy drowned.
Yeah, Surfer Timmy. Yeah, this is a metaphorical drowning.
Wow, I walked away for 1 second. It got dark over here.
Yeah.
Well, you started it with that Woodstock stuff.
I know I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we could tell you're really rattled, Dale.
I'm upset.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, everybody's drawings look amazing. I like John, Bill, Dale, like that's fantastic.
Isn't Dale's cool with the like,
It's kind of fun doing the one long pose like we do this in life drawing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dale, do you know Mark Ulrichson's work?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The body on yours feels like his a little bit.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, it's a compliment. He does great
Oh no,
work.
I know. I love Mark's work. It's funny. We text about baseball a lot.
Oh,
I usually don't talk art with my artist friends. I don't know about you guys.
no.
No.
No, because there's so many other things to talk about.
I do with you guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can dip in there, but that's usually not the.
I think artists usually have like one or two friends that they kind of rely on and talk to about art. And then most of the time they avoid it with other
Yeah.
artists.
Oh,
Yeah. I try to, there's a couple people that I talk art with that, it's been helpful to me. One of them was my father. Brett and I have talked about art a lot, but most of the time you stay away from it.
Yeah.
You get enough of that, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's always in. I'm sure with you guys too. It's always in my head, like always.
Yeah. How many times? This is where smartphones have kicked my butt. You take a photograph of your image, you leave your studio, and then you look at that image 20 different times before you come back to your studio thinking,
Yeah.
Yep.
what do I need to do to this? That's become a really part of the process for me.
And it's that photo always reveals the
Everything.
truth.
Oh yeah. It's like, what
the truth, right? And usually when you take that photo, you're like, yeah, right?
Yeah. That's perfect, Dale. Yeah.
Nailed it.
What was I thinking?
that's
And then,
right.
yeah, 20 minutes later, like, oh wow, who ruined this?
A good conversation about my dad talking to students and talking about failure as an artist. And he said, it's not just failing, like, as an artist, you fail multiple times all day long. The whole time you're working on an image. You have huge swings up and down, highs and lows. But that camera, those photographs that you can take, which I couldn't do when I was, starting out because it didn't exist. it's pretty honest.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and like you can flip it, you can mirror it too, so you can really see your mistakes.
Oh,
I
I'm
love showing,
looking at all my insecurities.
my wife, what do you think? It is like, who is it? And I'm like, oh, that's a bad sign.
I
Well,
know.
one strike down.
It's better than what is it?
Yeah, I
That's
guess
funny.
true.
That's funny. It's funny. I had this one piece I was working on and I showed Maria and, I texted it to her. And without doing what we're talking about, really looking at taking a moment and then looking at the picture. I was kind of, I was on a roll and I texted it to her. And she texted it back. She's just like, oh no. Just oh no, and that's it.
What were you thinking?
I know.
Yeah, my husband's a really good critiquer, and but like he'll get to like the point that I've been trying to figure out the whole time immediately. So I require a compliment sandwich. So I was like,
Oh.
first tell me something nice and then tell me the truth.
You would not have gotten along well in our household or my family.
I just would have gotten everybody on board with a compliment sandwich.
Well, I really do think that way when I'm critiquing work or teaching. I think you learn more from the things you're doing right. And
Yeah.
most of the time people can't tell they're doing something right. They don't
I
know
know.
what's working and what's not. And I always focus on the stuff that's working. I
It's kind
try.
of like rock. It's kind of like rock climbing. You got to give them something to grab onto
Yep.
to keep moving.
Yeah.
Well, and we're
Yeah.
already in our heads because we know something's not quite right. So hearing that there are a couple things that are still working when you're trying to fix what's wrong, I'm always a little like extra insecure in that moment. So I was like, just tell me there's something okay with this first, and then we'll get to the bottom of the thing that's really not working.
Yeah. I need to be better at that.
I've become more like that
The,
since.
the Boston comes out in you,
It
Dale.
really does. It does. You start.
You start a critique like, what were you thinking?
No, I don't know if I've actually gone with what were you thinking, but I've thought that.
I'm just kidding you. You do great. You're great at critiquing, and you're not harsh. You find the positive things. I critique with you all the time.
Yeah. But I do look, if we're being honest, sometimes you look at stuff and you do think, what are you thinking? But you don't say that.
Yeah. Well, until you have to. No, seriously, but you have to. I mean, the worst thing about a critique is somebody that's not honest with you.
Right.
Oh my
I don't
God.
want them to be dishonest. Don't give me
Yes.
false compliments. If you don't
Yeah.
have anything good to say, then just be silent for a moment.
It's really important to be able to, but I always think it's really important for the person that critiquing, if you can't tell somebody why something's not working, don't even bring it up, because
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's that's the good part about, what I feel really strong with our program is a bunch of good artists in there, and they can usually tell you how to correct your work and what's working and what's not working and how to make it better. That's
Do
why.
you think that when something, if you think this isn't working, but I don't know why, to me, my thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, that just seems to fall into the line of, well, maybe that's just taste.
No.
No,
Well,
Usually it's identifiable.
Yeah,
No,
you can find it.
but then you just negated what I was saying. It's if there's no identifiable reason why something you think it's not working. Because you said if you can't identify why it's not working, don't say anything.
I'll be honest with you, Timmy. It's
Yeah.
if I identify that something isn't working, I've always been able to find what it was. It might take a little while.
Yeah.
But if you just,
Yeah, Dale, I think you have to, we've talked about this too. Sometimes it's like, I can tell you this is the part that's not working. I can't fix it for you right here because I'm going to have to go on a journey and a search
right.
to figure it out. And I
Yeah.
think that's the answer to Timmy's question too. It's
Well, I guess my question is like, at what point, this is a broader question, I guess. And are there certain people that you guys, I mean, I would think that certain artists would be disadvantaged to get critiqued by certain people.
Yes. I
Yeah.
think that's true.
Yeah,
Starting
yeah.
from there, I guess.
well, I know what you mean, Timmy, but I mean, it really depends on the person. Like I'm very comfortable with people whose work doesn't necessarily, float my boat. Like that's not what I would choose to do or look at. But in a way, it's a lot easier for me to productively comment on someone who does work that's much different than mine because
Okay.
I don't have that preconceived
Yeah.
notion. Like if I was critiquing somebody who did portraits or caricatures, I might kind of be more biased towards my own approach, right?
Okay. Yeah, because I guess that's more in line with my question, which is like when you critique, do you make a conscious effort or does it happen just naturally to acknowledge like I need to focus on not just this not being my flavor and more on just like what is technically occurring with this image? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Timmy, I'll answer it this way. When I critique, and we've talked about this, about coming up with a kind of a mechanism of things you have to, like a checklist of what you have to think about. First
Yeah.
thing I think about with any type of illustration, number one, you got to know why it was done. And is it functionally communicating? Is it doing its job, solving the problem that they're trying to solve? That's job number one. Then I look at it on a visual basis and start with composition. You look at the drawing, you look at the color, whatever it is, you kind of go through this checklist and think, and that's the way I think about my own work now. When I think I'm done with the piece, you have to assess it in some way. And your hero and mine, Bill, Richard Diebenkorn, one of my heroes, said it best. He says, I only know when I'm done with an image when I can't think of anything else to do with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of it, and doing it, trying to help people learn. You're not doing anybody any favors by pulling punches, but you're not doing any favors by beating them up either.
Yeah. So here's a question for somebody maybe who like isn't getting a lot of critiques or something. I got into writing and that was like my first thing right out of school. And in school, I was trying to do creative writing and I would get critiqued. And at a certain point had to be like, I ran into people that read what I did and finally just had to be like, oh, they don't get it. Don't take it personally. Don't get worked up. They don't get it. It is working here. And like, I imagine that's probably not, I mean, I think that's a dangerous thing maybe for an artist. Like that's like a tightrope you have to walk. Because
in a critique, you mean?
Yeah,
Or
with
in
critique,
your own
yeah.
work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I think you always got to consider your source too. It's like if Gary Kelly tells me something's not working on a painting of mine, I'm gonna listen to him.
Yeah.
If somebody that I don't have that kind of respect for, I may think, well, maybe they don't get it. But so it kind of depends what your audience is, I think.
Yeah, if you're hearing if you're getting
Consistent,
similar feedback, then they probably get it and you might not.
right?
I have been in that situation.
Yeah. Also, I mean, and maybe it's just that creative writing, Devin said it first, creative writing is maybe even closer to fine art than illustration. I think it's more subjective for sure. Because I think really quickly in the writing world, God, I mean, there's 1,000 of the best-selling or hundreds of the best-selling authors in the world were told by dozens of, or if not hundreds of publishers, this is garbage. We'll never be able to sell this.
This is garbage. We can sell this.
Yeah, exactly. You brought us the wrong kind of garbage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have a opinion on it. I just think it's interesting because I think that there are, like you said, you got to consider the source.
I think a lot of the critiquing that's done is you can't say if you're getting critiqued by multiple artists, a lot of people look at it. The solution in the problem solving, that there's a lot of different ways to do that. There's a lot of different ways to solve a problem. There's a lot of different points of how, the way that, one artist might solve a problem versus another, which might be totally valid and they would do a beautiful job with it. The cognitive part of it is, I think, where there's discrepancy. When we're in study hall and we get into, and we're talking about the mechanics, it's 99% of the time I can guess what Dale or Bill or anybody else in the room is going to say because there's a real consistency about it.
Yeah.
That's also the availability of those resources, which, let me remind everybody, you get access to these resources.
Nice, Timmy. Nice.
But what I'm going to say is I guess my question, the angle that I'm coming from is, let's say it's a high school art student. I went to a high school where had I wanted to be an illustrator and I was running into these problems, I don't know that the program there would have been equipped to actually give accurate or good advice, And I think, I don't know, I'm talking in circles on the subject, so it's probably pretty boring for people, but I find it interesting, this idea of establishing, do I trust this person's input? Is this person's input helpful? It's a very intimate thing.
It is.
Well, Timmy, that's your business here,
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
I mean, we Timmy, you and I we've been on journeys and looking for people that do that well, and they're able to do that with a broad group of and not everybody can do it.
It's really hard. It's really hard, especially if you're, I mean, John, you can elaborate on this, but a lot of what we've talked about is your art is your authenticity, or it's your story, whether we're talking about visual art or writing or something, but it's it's you. And I think that if it, it's if the person can't meet you in the middle, it's really hard to connect with that work sometimes. I don't know.
The illustration industry is it functions that way. You're making an illustration not for yourself. You're making it with a team, and at least an art director and an editor, and you have to appease somebody else besides yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to do that. I'm sitting here. I stood up and I haven't, I'm very close to drawing Randall Tex Cobb here, and I stood up and walked across the room and I looked at my drawing, and it's his head is 19 inches tall.
So what I was saying, and I'll just see it. This will be it, and I'll drop it because I don't want to bore anybody with it. But like, I was thinking of like, I saw a critique happen once at a school. We don't have to talk about the school or anything, but it was, they were sharing poster art, and the poster art was for a film called Y Tu Mama Tambien, an acclaimed international, like best-selling film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This person critiquing, who was a little less experienced, probably was like, I don't even remember who it was, but they were like, you got to pick a movie that everybody knows. And it was like, oh, you're not familiar with that world. And maybe it was a slip up. Like, I don't think you have to know everything that's part of the lexicon of culture, maybe it was an accident, but
and what, I mean, their comment was, you got to,
basically basically it would just showed a blind spot of
what
like
what they didn't know.
of what they didn't know. Not
Right.
so much. It's not like they were saying like, you gotta please the people, but what they really were saying was, you gotta please me right now, because I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but there is truth in that. If you want to, perfect example, you want to do fantasy work,
Yeah.
your audience is fantasy art directors. And so you better be doing stories that they understand.
Oh, but like to this point, John, like if you wanted to do like movie, let's say you wanted to do movie posters, like Y Tu Mama Tambien is like much more of a logical movie poster than if they had picked like the most known movie, like the Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Because like, it's going to be the art house film, or like, for instance, like that's a movie that I would not be surprised was included in
The Criterion Collection.
the Criterion Collection.
Totally.
And it was just a to not read into it much. I think it was just like a blip, but it was interesting to me because you see a young mind and you're like, kind of like, take what you can from it, but take it with a grain of salt, because there's definitely truth to the statement, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the context, but like if you're putting together John talked about fantasy. If you want to do celebrity portraits, you really need to have portraits of people who are recognizable to a lot of people, not really obscure.
Your favorite, yeah.
Yeah, you can't have portraits of your friends and family. I mean,
Right.
The person has to be recognizable for an art director to understand.
Yeah.
That
Are
you
you
can do a good likeness? I mean,
right?
that's-
Are you
that's
doing?
your
Dale, wasn't it your Pauly Shore collection that really lit things up for you?
That was it. That made me, man.
Please tell me there's a Pauly Shore collection.
No, I'm sorry.
Pauly Shore and Benny Hill.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's already it's almost
8.
it's almost 9:00.
Or 9, I guess. Yeah. 8 our time.
Sorry, I dragged that out too long.
That's okay.
I don't think so.
Oh, good.
Hey, so everybody post your 3 and 4 if you did 4. Dale, that's looking awesome.
Oh, thanks. That's fun.
That's so fun. I love it.
Thank you. That's the stuff
I love her arms.
Yeah, her arms are fantastic.
They're so
Thank
amazing.
Your anatomy is just awful, Dale.
What did you say?
I said your anatomy is awful.
Yeah, Dale, you'd be joining late, but we have a figure drawing class.
This is really how I see people.
You know what
Yeah.
it makes me think of? It makes me think of the Kristen Wiig skit where she had the baby doll hand. And she'd be talking to people and she'd pet them with the baby doll hand. Did you ever see that?
Yes. Yeah.
Dale, compared to your like, tall, broad shoulder, this is probably what I look like to you.
What did you early? I don't remember when we first started this. You were describing the Trabon family gene of physique, and you referred to your family as rock flippers. Was that?
It's a long lineage of people, rock pushers.
That's really funny.
We're just built to push rocks up hills.
Oh, my people are built to haul potatoes.
Yeah.
That's funny. So you're the original CrossFitters.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
This
We're
is
like if a cannonball became a person. Yeah, yeah. Oh man.
I made that comment at your dad's house one day. And we were in the barn, which he had this magnificent barn that he had an office in it that was terrific. It was just fantastic place to be by yourself. And it was kind of like an office library. And he was walking me, giving me a tour around the whole barn. And he had this like racks and racks and racks of like cowboy clothes, all covered nicely and, really well taken care of. And he made he jokingly said, someday when I'm not here, they'll have an auction and all of this stuff will go away. And I said, well, none of it will ever sell. And he said, why? He goes, because nobody would wear your size.
Oh my God,
So
John.
it's all.
Oh
like,
man, that's so funny because my mom has all of his clothing still, and she goes, I heard her the other day. She goes, I'm holding on to it just in case any of the boys ever want to wear it, but God, I hope they never fit them. Yeah. So, is it share time?
Yeah, I think we're pretty close. Yeah.
All
Give me
right.
a second here. I'll change cameras and we'll do that.
Yeah, no rush.
Everybody's looks great. John, that's fantastic.
Thanks.
Spotlight.
Bill, you busted that out, huh? That is great, man.
Cool.
Yeah, Cassandra, I love that.
Oh, thanks.
That's fantastic.
Great work, everybody.
Ah, super fun reference. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
That is great.
Oh, thank you.
So great, Phil.
That's
I
fun.
love it.
I think I learned how to just on the critique thing. I think I've learned how to do better critiques since doing study hall and the Illustration Academy, because you guys really hone in on specifically, very specific and concrete things that student can address.
Yeah.
And
Interesting, Bill. This will, and Dale, anybody that's been there will react to this. I think when we first started the academy, and I was trying, I was organizing everything, and then the first or the second day, we were critiquing thumbnails. We put all the student work up there, and I'm like thinking, okay, I got to start this thing off. And so I started talking about this piece, and like I'm into it for about 30 seconds. And I had like 3 people like chime in and say, no, I wouldn't do that. I would do that. And I didn't talk in a critique for about 3 years after that.
Oh, wow.
I was petrified.
Whoa.
Yeah, well, because think of the people I was critiquing with. And I hopefully learned how to do it properly, but they were so on target and got there so fast. And I just didn't have the facility to do it at the time.
I felt like that when I was hanging out with you and George critiquing things, because you guys were just right on the point,
Well, it's a skill. You have to know how to look and offer useful opinions, right?
I'm just imagining Bill being like, maybe do it a little bigger.
But the college critiques I got, which from people that I look back didn't have much to say. The first thing I would get all the time, you show the work and then they look at you and they go, well, how do you feel about it?
Oh.
I was like, it doesn't matter how I feel about it. I want you to be able to tell me what's wrong or right.
Right.
That's what I'm going to school for.
They didn't have anything to say a lot of times.
I already know how I feel about it. All right, I can share my screen now.
Maybe that's like a preliminary question because they're just trying to gauge how to come at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. How sensitive is he?
Yeah.
How sensitive is this guy?
How's this person going to react?
Yeah, because if you're like, I think it's my chef's kiss of. Yeah. And
Oh,
then
these are already really good.
Oh, man.
Ooh. Wow.
Oh, good job, Rebecca.
Wow.
Wow, Rebecca. Man,
Yeah.
that is beautiful.
Wow.
Really good. Don't do any more. I actually really like that it's like partially
Yeah.
there.
Ooh, that's nice too.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
I know who that is.
That-
Yeah.
can we look- I want- yeah,
guy.
Nice
that's
job.
awesome. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Oh,
Great.
that's so good. You got his eyes.
How much fun. Oh, this is great too. Who's this? Oh, nice, Joe.
Very
Really nice, Joe.
Wow. Wow.
Excellent.
That's
That's really
That's
fun,
good.
Jeff.
That's really good.
Yes. Wow.
Oh my gosh. I want to click on all these.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great.
Very nice.
Really good.
I mean, they're all great. Again, if I don't click on your piece, I apologize. I'm trying to.
Yeah,
There's a
good
there's a
job,
lot.
Julian.
That's
Beautiful. That's oh, so, you know, it's funny. I was going to
Thanks,
say,
Deanna.
I thought it when I first saw it, I thought it was Chuck's, but it's in the same family.
That's a talented family.
Yeah, it really is.
The family.
wow.
Chuck, you
I
better.
can't even imagine what Pictionary is like.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, wow. That's a nice
Yeah.
drawing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Jeez.
Really nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job.
That's awesome too.
It is excellent.
Wow.
So many great pieces. Look at that,
Chuck says Deanna's keeping him sharp.
Devin.
Oh, nice, Devin. Oh, I like all the chest hair too. And you got all the design on the shirt.
Yeah.
That's a really
Great.
good drawing. That
Oh,
is-
I love the shadows on the clothes. They're so bold and perfect.
That is.
Now the bad news. Oh, there we go. I finally got it off of there.
Oh, but
Look at that.
Oh, good
Very-
job,
Oof.
Gary.
Wow.
Killer.
Wow.
That is killer.
Mm-hmm.
So many great ones here.
Oh, Julian, you had a good night, man.
yeah. That Doug Bell drawing right next to it's really great too.
Jeez.
Oh,
Come
that's
on.
I
beautiful.
mean, you know,
Ju- Well, all of those guys, Julian, Doug, Gary, all of it. On a bad night, they're good.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
ooh, that's cool.
Evan,
Nice,
there you
Chuck.
go. There you
Nice.
go, Chuck.
Wow.
Okay, you better keep moving, Chuck. Sienna's chasing you. Look at that. That is great.
That's great.
Love that expression.
I love his face is totally white too.
We have to do. Oh, look at this. That's
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
We have to do a like phases of Cage. You know, what did we
Yeah.
call it earlier? We
Cage
called
is a cage.
the phases of Cage.
Uncaged.
No,
Uncaged.
stages.
Oh,
Stages
I
of
like
Cage.
it.
The stages of Cage.
Oh, is that you, Bill?
Yeah, that's my.
Which one?
Oh man.
That's great. Hey, Gary said he had more, but we didn't pay attention to the little arrow.
Oh,
We don't do little arrows anymore.
Sorry, Gary.
Because of Procreate.
Oh,
oh, that's
see,
badass.
that was worth seeing.
Oh, that is killer.
Oh, you got the perspective on the background really well too.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Good.
Beautiful, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. That was worth seeing.
Thanks for telling me that. Cassandra's not doing her job and watching.
I know,
TV.
come on.
Totally let me down.
That's really cool too.
Cassandra, you're really making me look bad.
Sorry, man.
A lot of really great ones.
Trust me, it's
Yeah,
it's-
no, it's
it's
so
easy to
great.
do, Cassandra.
Very nice.
There's great stuff in here.
Ah, this is such a fun. I love these photos. All these pictures of Tony are
I
great.
want to click on them all. I'm sorry.
I know.
Oh, that's cool.
That's fun. Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
The hair is just so fun. Everybody had a great time with that hair.
That's cool too.
That's nice.
Nice.
Love
Those
this
pens
shit.
are fun to draw with, those little pilot pens, parallel pens. Oh, wow.
Really nice. I really love it.
I like the chest hair.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
man.
Randy,
Good job, Randy.
beautiful.
So cool. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, that's really nice. The Holly Hunter below.
That's terrific. I like that.
Oh my god.
Solid rage.
Oh my God, that's
Solid rage.
That's
That-
amazing.
You know what that should be? That should be the call to entries at the Society of Illustrators.
Yes.
That would
Yes,
be a great
Yeah.
poster.
that would be.
Oh,
my
actually, I'm gonna, no, John, don't give that to somebody else. AJ, can you give us public permission to use it?
Academy.
Yeah, we need it.
Announcement of next semester.
Yeah, we need that for our announcements.
These are great.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, that's so good.
that's great.
Oh, AJ says absolutely.
All right. We'll be getting an email with
That's
it.
fine. Hey, nice job, Sally. That is terrific.
Yeah, Sally. Oh, you got the texture of the hair really well.
Yeah, that's great.
Sally has really stepped it up.
She has.
Last couple of weeks, both Studio Bridge too.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Mhm.
That's cool.
So many great ones. Nice.
I like the multiple colors.
What is it? Click on that one, John, with the,
Oh
yeah.
my God,
Damn.
Oh, that's beautiful.
that's beautiful.
Wow.
I like
The
the
little skull.
the white back into it. That's really nice.
Yeah, great
Look
like
at that.
texture too. So nice.
I think that's one too. Wow.
Nice, Heather.
Oh, that's so cool.
Really nice.
That's excellent.
That's fun drawing.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's really good.
The Holly Hunter watercolor right there with Nicolas Cage. That one, but yeah, that one's awesome.
Great, Heather.
There's one above it that just is really funny. And
That one?
no, the one next to, well, that one's nice too, but the one next to it.
Oh, together?
Yeah.
That was a really, she had a great pose.
Yeah.
Really interesting, subtle.
Great.
These are all just delightful to look at.
Well, you know what's funny? The Holly Hunter one is the one that people got the most creative with.
It's true.
That's nice.
Oh,
That's-
that's wild. I'm loving the Nick Cage eyes on that.
Yeah.
It was great.
Everybody really got that dopey look he has.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, those are all so good.
Is that
Oh,
Doug?
wait, go
Oh my
to do
God.
the, yeah.
That's Doug.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. That's awesome, Doug.
I think his Holly Hunter is up a line too. Is that
oh,
it? Yeah.
Gosh.
that's an awesome one.
I love how the lines are, she's leaving the lines behind.
Well, there's the pose I was talking about. That's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So many great ones. Look at that.
Wow.
I
That's
want like a montage of the Holly Hunters.
Oh, that's awesome.
So nice, Chuck.
Oh, Chuck.
Good hair there, Chuck. It's fantastic.
Nice. Okay, we got to do a Nick Cage next.
I like the one with the dog.
Yeah.
That dog's good.
Oh, there's mini,
Is it-
there's a mini arrow in there.
Can we do the little arrow on this?
Dog draws really well.
Yeah.
My dog could do.
Licking the watercolor off. That's a good technique.
She says she is a Nick Cage super fan.
There we go.
Check this out.
I love that one.
Oh, man.
There's a little arrow. How many did you do, man?
Love it.
Oh, okay.
You know, he's in a movie called Pig now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Is
Is it good?
I
It
wanna
looks
watch it.
dark. It looks like John Wick, if John Wick was a chef and there was
No, it's not. It's
Yeah.
not.
No, I
That's
heard
not what
it's
it is.
Nope. I thought it was going to be like Taken, John Wick. It goes the other way once you think it's actually really good.
That's
Okay.
terrific, Sally.
That's really nice, Sally.
These are all great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see this.
Oh, really nice.
Very cool.
Gosh, those touches are blue or like teal or beautiful.
Very good. That's different. Wow.
I think High was the most popular.
What? is
Oh, how could we not? We all wanted to do the hair.
Yeah.
I think we have found a muse here.
this? Absolutely.
Wait, if just the future of illustration isolation was just we only draw a page.
I bet we would get somewhere. I bet we'd get some
No,
attention by doing
this is the real question, and I think if we're all down, I would support it. Is how many episodes would we have to do before Nick Cage joined us?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Can you
Oh,
click
wow.
on that?
It won't come up.
Oh,
Come
come
on.
There
on.
you go.
Oh,
Very
Oh,
nice.
Very good.
Wow.
I think within a year we'd have Nick Cage on this show.
Or
oh gosh, I don't think
or
I could
his
do a
attor-
year of
his
it, man.
attorney representing him,
no, we probably couldn't get rid
telling
of
us to stop.
Yeah,
him. He probably wouldn't go away after a while. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
that's true.
It's
Oh
nice.
yeah,
Bill.
Nick Cage be texting me like, "Hey man, the link changed again."
Oh, this is excellent.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Really nice, Jeff.
That's a great one to end on.
Yeah.
Awesome, everybody.
Hmm.
This was fun. I like the format. I like the three poses. We're a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah,
We'll consider that next week.
yeah, I liked it.
Well, give me your opinion. Well, everybody can give me their opinion right now.
Yeah, chime in quickly.
I'm in.
Yeah. I know a bunch of you are newbies.
Yeah.
I'm in. I got to quit drawing heads that are 18 or 19 inches tall.
No, I think that's your new thing, John. You're the
I'm like John Close. John Close.
Right.
With all respect, because he just passed away. He's
Yeah.
phenomenal artist.
He's amazing.
All right.
All right,
Awesome.
everybody. Have
Thank you.
a great week. Thank
Y'all
you.
have a wonderful week.
All right, guys. Thank you.